Let's check in with the eNCA Money Desk. Rofhiwa Madzena is standing by.
So, Rofhiwa, one industry body is saying we're heading for a chicken price tsunami. Tell us all about it.
That's right, Sally, and it's very scary because it's a staple in the country, protein, the chicken that we're talking about here. But yes, higher chicken prices in the coming months will be unavoidable, and that's the wording from RCL Foods chicken division, which says both producers and consumers are likely to feel the impact of the ongoing Russian invasion of Ukraine. The South Africa Association of Meat and Importers and Exporters has also weighed in on the situation. It says government must urgently remove trade tariffs to bring down the cost for consumers. Paul Matthew is the association's CEO, and he joins me now for this discussion. I mean, let's start with this tsunami that you've described, the incoming increased prices. Paul, is that really how bad the situation is when it comes to the price of chicken and the increases that we'll be seeing?
Yes, I think, as you were saying in your introduction, yes, already we saw today that there's a further R1.70 on per kilo from the local producers onto poultry. And I think with the underlying issues with Ukraine and Russia, I think we're going to see a huge tsunami in terms of actual prices. So as the association, we are calling to government to assist the SA consumer and see if we can give some relief by reducing tariffs onto poultry to bring the the cost down, and hopefully the retailers can also then share that saving with the consumer.
I mean, you've had this conversation around tariffs previously, and government has never budged. What makes you think that this time around they may look at the tariff pricing that's in place and give consumers that reprieve that you're calling for?
No, I think we in a bit of a sort of different side now, where we had the poultry master plan to have a look at how we can get the local producers to start exporting and grow business that way. So they've been seeking protection for the last 10 years now, and still they haven't met the requirements in terms of the poultry master plan on the exporting. So I think government needs to review this, and you can't just carry on doing protection, and that these local producers are making good profits. There doesn't seem to be any sort of damage to their bottom line. And as these prices go up because of tariff, it's just another tax. And as these prices go up, so they add their prices up, and therefore the struggling consumer is feeling the pinch of that. So I think it's time that we need to reduce these tariffs and give the South African consumer a bit of a break.
And apart from the issue around the tariffs, Paul, we are seeing that we've got the main drivers, including increased input costs. My apologies, I lost my train of thought there. The increased input costs that producers are dealing with, like chicken feed, and so some of those other drivers that are pushing the costs up.
Yes, so there's a lot of talk about, obviously, exports coming out of Ukraine in terms of maize, but South Africa is a big maize producer themselves, and the local producers have this integrated system. So I think what should happen with regards to maize and those input costs, that's where government should also step in and maybe assist the local producers in some sort of subsidy to curb those import costs. So that, I think, could happen from the local producer side, and I think definitely from the importation side is to reduce or to get rid of those tariffs.
No, absolutely. I really wish we had more time to talk through this issue, because there's so many elements, including inflation, which is something I was hoping we'd get into, and the impact that will have on those already increasing prices. But that is all we have time for this evening. Thank you very much for your time this evening.